Okay, we're live. I don't know why this is going live faster than I used to sit here and it would anyway. Good morning, everybody. Hi. Sorry we're late. Like I said, Teresa was stuck in a meeting that she couldn't leave. So it is what it is. Life happens. So we are on episode 12. We are on, I think we're even on day 12, aren't we?
Yep.
Of the magic too. That's so funny.
That's crazy.
Yeah, that is super cool. I actually kind of love that. And before I forget, for those of you guys who are in my Facebook group, and if you're not in there and you want to be in there, just comment below group and I'll make sure that you get an invite. But I did, when we got started, I made some journaling prompts because if you'll recall at the very beginning of the magic, Rhonda Byrne says that she split the days up intentionally. The first 12 days are things you're grateful for that have already happened, from your past. The 10 days after that are about our current desires and what we're, calling in and manifesting. And then the final 6 days is when it gets really, really juicy and becomes a part of who we are. So I, as the queen of journaling, I couldn't help myself. I made some journaling prompts for each of the 3 sections. So it's not obviously required. I just thought, if anybody wants to take the whole thing a little bit deeper, maybe you might find it extra beneficial if you've been kind of not been able to keep up as well as you would have liked. This is kind of I don't mean to redeem you or anything like that, but it might give you an opportunity to kind of go a little bit deeper and kind of reset for the rest of the 28 days. But anyway, I digress. I have been loving this book.
I am speechless. So anybody that's been doing this that hasn't seen significant movement in their life, I don't believe that you've been doing it.
No,
there's no fucking way that you are actually doing it and you haven't seen no movement, because I can't even talk about half the shit that is fucking happening in my life right now. The shift, it was already shifting.
Yeah.
But now I feel like it's full blown and everything makes sense. I just get it right now. I just fucking get it. That frequency of all of your dreams and desires coming in.
Yeah.
I'm on it.
Yeah.
I'm on it.
Yes.
I kept repeating, I make money in my sleep.
Yes.
I've gotten the opportunity to make money in my fucking sleep, dude. Are you kidding? I can't even wrap my head around it. It's going to take a minute for it to build, but just the fact that the door was opened.
Mm-hmm.
I was in the shower and I was saying I'm shooketh in my life and stuff like that. And people are saying the fucking word to me when they're talking.
Yeah.
Teresa, I'm so shooketh today. And I'm oh my God, this is crazy. Everything that I've written down, everything that I've been saying, everything that I've been feeling everything is being reflected back to me right now. It's insane. I wish everybody was in here letting us know their wins and stuff right now, because I can only imagine what's happening. Yeah. I mean, we do have our group. We've seen some stuff in there. Magical things are happening.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm shooketh to the core.
No, and it's so funny. I think probably the best physical example story that it's not even my particular story, but just so one of the girls doing the magic with us, she's also a client of mine, but that's not really relevant to this particular thing. So she's doing the magic with us, and it was day, I don't know, 8 or 9 or whichever one is the magic money one. And so she said she was sitting in her office thinking, oh, I better get up and find the dollar bill before I forget. Because I mean, we all know how it goes, right? You sit down with the intention to get back up, and then 5 hours later, you're still sitting at your desk. So she's like, okay, no, I better get up and do it right now. And then she kind of sat back and looked over, and there was a wallet sitting there. And she's like, oh, I haven't, used this wallet in forever. Opens it up. And so there was, I think, a 10 or a 20 or something in there. She's like, okay, so that's awesome. I literally was just feeling the energy of being grateful for money. And then I'm, nudged to look this direction and notice this wallet and open it, and there's money in there. And then she's like, but that's not even the best part. She's like, then I started cleaning out all the little pockets and zippers. I guess it was one of those wallets that has lots of little compartments or whatever. And she's like, by the end of it, I had 2 50s, some 20s, some 10s, some 5s, and we're in Canada, so we've got $1 and $2 coins. And she's like, this is mental. This is it's comical how much money is coming out of this wallet. It was just so awesome. And it was just such a great physical like I said, representation of the magic that unfolds. Like, yeah, not all of us are going to find old wallets full of money, but at the same time, like, hasn't your day been going like that though, with just random things sprinkling into your life, and all of a sudden you're like, it's comical at how amazing it is, right?
Just the showing up for yourself.
Yeah.
I feel like everybody around me is showing up for me on a whole different level right now.
Yeah.
You know, even though that's part of my scripting that I've been putting in there.
Right.
But just for everything to like, you know, we talked about that lag time between your manifestations and it showing up in the 3D.
Yeah.
The lag time is not existing right now. It's just fucking showing up one after another after another. Like, I'm telling you, the meeting that I was in right now, fucking, I wish I could speak on it, but I can't. But it'll be shown. It'll be shown. It'll be shown. It'll be shown. When the actual physical things appear and I start posting about it, like, wow, fucking wow. I'm already at wow, fucking wow. But like, there's going to be proof in the pudding here. Like, I'm speechless this time. Honestly, I'm speechless. Like,
well, you know, like you were saying about showing up, like I think I even said this last time, I have done the magic before. This is not my first time around. And I did talk about it last week because I was admitting that the last 2 times I didn't make it past day 8. The first time I didn't make it past day 5, or like the second time. But this time, I mean, I think I'm going to be honest. I think there is a level of like, I need to show up because I'm trying to set a good example. You know what I mean? Like there is that, like doing it publicly is in itself an accountability buddy. Plus, I know, you know, even just Teresa and I doing it together, you know, I know that she would do it for my benefit too, and I would do it for her benefit too, just because the collective energy of it and doing it with somebody and whatever else. But I also just find myself like wanting to prioritize it and not finding it hard to prioritize. Like this morning, I had my alarm set. I had my coffee maker. Today's the first day back to school after spring break for us. So I turned the alarm off and then I continued to lay there. And I guess I fell asleep again because I woke up and I was like, oh no, what time is it? It's like 10 after 7. Normally we're already like, we've already showered and we're, you know, we being Dominic. And then we're on the way to, you know, brushing teeth, making breakfast, all this. And I was like, okay, that's okay. Thank you for waking me up, you know, with more than enough time to still do all the things. And then, so I got him up and we got him dressed and all of that. And then got to school. Everything was great. Still had time to spare. Get home. So of course, the point of that story was I didn't have time to do the gratitude first. That was my intention, was I was going to get up, have my coffee, do my gratitude, whatever. That didn't work out. So we got home and now I haven't adhered to my work schedule in like 2 weeks. So I am very eager to get to all the things that I have. Like I've got exciting things going on and I want to get back to it. Right. But without even it being any kind of chore, my husband's like, what are you doing now? I was like, well, first I'm going to do my gratitude because it's the most important thing. Right. And old me, this is how I know that I've shifted, because old me would have been like, oh, whatever. I have other things. I would have gone into masculine energy. I have things I need to do. I'll do it later. Right. And I almost did it this morning. I'm going to be fully honest and transparent. The part where you're supposed to go back and read through the list, right? Old me would have written it and then go, no, I don't have time to go back and read it. I'll just like, that's good enough. And okay, fine. Like writing the list is still better than not writing the list. So it still would have been better. But I was like, no, I'm being grateful for what I have here. Of all the things to prioritize time for, this is the thing that I'm going to do that. So I did. I went back through my list and I even intentionally read all of it slower than I normally do. And I felt even deeper into gratitude for each thing because, you know, I wanted to send out that signal that like, no, I am grateful for these things. I'm not taking them for granted. So I am going to sit here no matter what. And the funny thing about the whole thing was, by the time we had been home for an hour from dropping Dominic off at school, I had already done this gratitude, which of course didn't take me as long as we anticipate it's going to take, right? I did all my gratitude. I replied to a bunch of messages. I got ready for, like, because I didn't really have time to actually like put myself together this morning. So I did that. I made breakfast. Like I made a full on like breakfast sandwich, took the time to like make, you know what I mean? Like, because I was like, what? if I'm not going to prioritize taking care of myself, nobody else is going to do it either. And I'm not taking care of myself and prioritizing myself and being grateful for what I already have that's allowed me to be where I am and to do what I do, then I have no business having or doing any of those things, right? So I was like, no, like,
exactly.
and how many times do we hop on this call and we both say, oh my God, I haven't eaten anything yet today. And I thought, no, today it's not going to be like that. I'm going to have freaking breakfast first because I want to have a productive day. And and it just, those are the kinds of things that have really been shifting for me, is that I don't even feel like it's a chore. Like I genuinely wanted to sit down and do my gratitude before I did anything else. Like it was, I have
no resistance.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't have any resistance towards it anymore.
Yeah.
I used to do the same thing, just like you're saying, like, okay, I have 1 million things to do, but I know I have to do this. Let me just get through it as fast as I can and get it done. And that's it. Now I'm actually like feeling into the emotions, feeling into the energy, like, holy shit, it's here. Holy shit. Like it is fucking here. And guess what? It's all showing up now. It's like that fucking lag time that we kept talking about is just, it's gone. It's cut because I'm thinking things and boom, it's appearing like this.
Yeah.
And this is with every area in my life. I'm getting what the fuck I want. No problem. No problem at all. So if that doesn't give you enough drive to like do this the right fucking way, they're just not ready yet. That's all I can say.
I mean, that's
not ready for this shift yet. Like it's not there yet. There's some other things that have to be worked out still.
Yeah.
Now here's the other side too, the flip side to it. If for some reason you mess up, just give yourself grace. Give yourself grace. That's all you can do. Don't put that negative energy out there and then put yourself even farther back and then take yourself onto the cycle and this loop into depression and anxiety because you missed a fucking day of the magic. It's okay. But you should go back the 3 days because you can feel the shift though.
Yeah.
Definitely. From the last times, like as soon as you didn't do it that one day, it's like, oh shit, you can feel that the momentum really got cut off, but I'm feeling great. I'm feeling great. I'll be honest, I didn't eat this morning, but that meeting was beyond worth not eating this morning. So I'm just like, what? I wrote these things down on paper and these people are repeating my fucking words back to me. How is this even? It's just, and like you said, it's so fucking easy.
Yeah.
It's so easy. I'm like day 12 and I've had no resistance on any day. I just didn't post on Instagram on Sunday, but I still did the work.
Yeah.
I still showed up. Show up. Everything is showing up now for me.
Yeah, exactly.
If you're lacking in an area, it's gratitude, and it's also you not showing up for yourself in that area.
Well, absolutely. Yeah.
If you're not loving on you, nobody else is going to.
Well,
because everybody's reflecting that energy back to us.
Exactly.
And it's so easy. This is so easy. Like we made manifestation, everything's so hard and it's so fucking easy. I can't, like, my brain is like, this whole time you created all of this resistance and everything, and it's this fucking easy.
Because we didn't believe it could be easy. So therefore your reality can't show you that it's easy. Right.
Yep.
And change is supposed to be hard and all of this. Right. And it's like, but also, Teresa and I are not only reading the magic, right? We are also doing other things. We are also working on embodying. We are also, working on our own businesses. We are also following mentors. We are also listening to subliminals, right? Like she and I are both listening to our own custom versions of subliminal affirmation. So that, like, it is a layered cake here, right? Like you have to understand that there's, and because I think a lot of people are looking for like the one magic pill. I mean, I know that I was, right? What is the one thing that's going to take it over the top? Now, I will say that the magic can be that thing. You could.
I think that magic is that thing, because all these other things, they're working 100%. But if you're constantly going against them,
right,
you're not allowing it to flow. So in the state of gratitude, it just like spitfires the other stuff.
Yes.
They're on fucking steroids. Like,
yeah.
But
that's it, right? But that's it. It is kind of a mixed cocktail of a bunch of things. But I do agree that, and this is what we've been saying, gratitude is the foundation of all of that, because what have we been saying for 12 weeks now? If you don't have gratitude, before we even start talking about the magic, if you don't have gratitude, you're not going to get anything. And even if you were to be given it, you won't even recognize that you have it. That's the whole thing, right? You have to. So gratitude really is the foundational pieces, and all these other things just help it along, right? And really, if you were to only do the magic, things would definitely shift for you. But of course, what Teresa and I think are kind of getting at, like, if I can simplify it, is just that we also, on top of everything else, have really, really crystal clear clarity on what we're creating also. So it's much easier for us to gauge how close we're getting, because we have that roadmap of, okay, well, not necessarily it's this stop and this stop and this stop, because that part's not up to us, but it's like, this is the destination though, and the universe is showing up for us. And it's as simple as, like yesterday I sent out an email in real time. A lot of my emails I write in real time, and I'm like, I'm supposed to not be working today, but I had an urge to grab my computer, and here we are, because I had this over, and I fought it and I fought it and I fought it, because I've told you guys that I am like really hard and fast about my boundaries. Since returning home from Nicaragua, it was like really important to me that I have boundaries around my business, boundaries around my relationships, blah, blah, blah. But I just, I have to also consider that I am, my human design is manifestor, and I have to kind of follow the creative urge. And it was strong enough that I couldn't ignore it. So I grabbed my computer and kind of let myself just be led where I needed to go. And I was led to this AI thing that I had that actually led me to this new version of AI. And I was using kind of the two together to like do some spitfiring and brainstorming of something I've been working on, and it helped me simplify the whole thing. And then somewhere in there, I was inspired to like, well, you have like, since the last time I actively was collecting testimonials, I've had a lot of people been reaching out and saying how impactful I've been. And I know this podcast has made a huge difference for a lot of people. I hear it, Teresa, I'm sure you do all the time too.
Oh yeah, all the time.
People messaging me all constantly saying like, thank you guys for doing that. I love it so much. I love your energy, blah, blah, blah. So I was inspired to ask for testimonials in exchange for a 25% off coupon for any of my subliminals. So, and that's been going amazing. So this morning I spent some time reading through basically how awesome I am, which was like a very nice stroke to my ego, but I'm using it for a sales page. And I was very honest about that. And I said, look, like I'm using this for this new project I'm working on. But the point of that story was I wasn't supposed to be working. I followed the nudge anyway, because you have to take inspired action. And it was one of those ones where you will start to learn the difference between a nudge that you can kind of, it is more egoic than it is inspired. And then the ones is that you just like, okay, like I have to give into this and grab my, whatever it is I need to do, or go to the store or whatever. And I got so much done in such a little amount of time. And this is part of the benefit of being grateful for what you have and how the universe is always working out for you. Always conspiring in your favor, always allowing you to create time where there really isn't any, right? You drop into Einstein time. He talks about that in The Big Leap, which is again, the book we'll do next, because it's so awesome. And, and I'm reading actually another book at the same time, because what's wrong with me? I'm reading The Audacity to Be a Queen by Gina DeVee, which is like amazing. And she's talking about very similar things. It is, I will say The Audacity to Be Queen is more of a beginner's book than I need, but I am still finding it. Like I really am not doing the, I already know that mentality. And I'm really just absorbing everything she's saying, pretending I'm kind of new to it. And it's been really awesome. But she talks about bending space and time too. And how she talks about like, look, when you show up for yourself and you honor the fact that you have the ability to create anything you want, everything we're always talking about, right? She's like, time and space will bend for you. And what have I been saying to you guys? And I've been saying to my private clients too, time doesn't operate the same way for me as it does for everybody else. Right. And that continues to be true. I continue to, like this morning when I got all of this stuff done, I looked at the clock, it hadn't even been 1 hour since we got home. I was like, how is that even possible? Like I've accomplished, because I started to say, this is actually how that epiphany started. I started to think, oh, we've already been home for an hour. And then I was like, well, wait, look at all the things I've done in an hour, right? Because this is even, this is just the programming we're on. We're always looking at what needs fixing, what is wrong, what is broken, what can I do better? Where am I failing, right? That's like human, like that's how we're programmed, is to look for the, the second shoe to drop and all that, BS, right? And instead I was like, no, I actually have had a very productive morning. I got all of these things done. This has actually been really awesome. And the day is off to a really great start, right? But if you don't have that awareness, you're going to go through the whole rest of your day beating yourself up because you didn't have a productive morning, even though you did.
Right. Yesterday, everything I did, my whole day yesterday was not about me. Not one bit of it. The day that I had planned out yesterday and all the work that I have to get done, I didn't even fucking touch it yesterday. But I followed where I was guided. And yesterday blew my fucking mind in every which way you can think of. I had one major relationship that was healed yesterday.
Oh, wow.
And this is one that I never thought in a million years would be where it's at this morning. I fucking wish I could give more examples. Let's just say I listened to the nudges, I followed everything, and it turns out that this relationship was completely fucking healed on a whole new level of friendship, everything that is, I couldn't have even put it together as beautiful as it unfolded yesterday. And awesome. It intertwined with manifestations that I had wrote down. This person spoke them, offered them, brought them to life. This is what I'm telling you. Like, I literally, my tongue is tied today because I'm still trying to process. Like, I know the power of the work that we do. I know the power of this book. But even the impossible becomes possible. Like, when I say this is fucking impossible, there's no way in hell I ever thought what happened yesterday, whatever fucking happened ever this fucking lifetime, like, it was impossible. There's absolutely no way. No way. And I'll tell you, it is something that you added into my subliminal, though. It's just so different when the subliminal is literally, I think it does something to your mind when you're listening, you know, because I've listened to many, we spoke about this last time. I knew they covered some of the stuff that I wanted to cover, but to have it literally specific to certain things, as you're listening, you're just like, oh, I know it's going to fucking work. It's exactly what I asked for. Well, there's no way. Like, it's related to exactly what I asked for.
Yes.
Everything in there is unfolding. Let me just say that.
Well, that's amazing. I'm so happy for you. But yeah, that's the whole thing, is like, that's what kind of inspired the idea to start, because I started with making my own first. I remember telling you about this like several months ago, and I was like, well, I'm just going to record. I started recording actually like my own scripting, because I was like, well, I mean, if I'm in my waking conscious hours focusing on bringing this thing to life, it can only double down if I am unconsciously focusing on these same things, right? Because then there's less opportunity for my critical mind to get involved and say no when everything is moving in that direction. Everything I'm noticing is moving in that direction. I continue to see proof that the subliminals are working because I know, you know, what I'm focusing on is what's going in. It's just like, it's a very holistic approach. And I think that's one of the reasons why it works so well, is because, like you say, how can it not? If my waking thoughts and my subliminal, you know, things that I'm feeding to myself are in tune with each other, and repetition is what creates beliefs, and beliefs is what creates my reality, it can't not work. Like, I mean, I've not ever tried it on somebody who didn't believe, but I would be willing to make a bet with somebody who was even skeptical that it wasn't going to work. That even if you believed, even if you didn't believe it was going to work, if you listen to the subliminal affirmations for, you know, give me an honest effort of, you know, 21 to 30, you know, ish days or whatever for because it's repetition inside the audio and then multiple days. But I would be very willing to take on a bet that you would still experience shifts, even if your conscious mind was not in I mean, obviously these affirmations would be in your best interest. I'm not ever going to like,
you're going to see movement no matter what.
Yes, that's what
you're going to see movement no matter what. Now, if your thoughts, your conscious thoughts are also in line with this, it's going to be everything at lightning speed, manifestation at lightning speed.
Yeah.
If your conscious thoughts are not in alignment with it, it's going to stop it somewhat, slow it down, but either which way, it's going to help release this resistance of the conscious mind through the unconscious, helping you. It's going to work, period, no matter what.
Yeah.
And then that's going to help because it's starting to release the resistance, and then your conscious mind is coming into alignment.
Well, okay, exactly. And so
into it.
that's exactly. And what you just said, I think explains what I'm talking about when I was this morning, like I said, like, oh, it's already been an hour. And then my now trying to be dominant thought process, like, well, hang on. No, we've actually had a very productive morning. It actually has been going very well. And we're technically ahead of schedule at this point, you know? So, yeah, because part of the subliminals that I've been listening to, and it might even be part of the baseline, is like that, you know, I'm an effective planner and I use my time wisely and I prioritize things and things get done. And I'm always moving the needle on things that are, you know, working for me and things like that. And like Teresa's saying with hers, I remember for you specifically, I named names and said specific things and specific dynamics were changing with these specific people with the names, right? And like, think about how much more effective that is versus just, oh, my significant other, my this, my that, my whatever. It's like, no, this person and this person and this person are acting in these ways, and they're showing up in my reality this way, and I feel this way about them, and they feel this way about me, and this is what's, you know, and this is what's going on. And it's like, it can't not work if that's what you're consciously desiring and focusing on too. And then if you're on top of that, like if you're somebody like Teresa and I, who are also repeating various affirmations throughout the day, well, the essence
we
of
have
the
all the tools here. We have all the tools. You know, it's the same thing with the Reiki too. You have all this stuff. You have all this energy, these emotions, this trauma all trapped in your body. So as hard as you are consciously trying to forget about these things, you can't, because it's inside your body. It triggers your mind. You start thinking about the shit. So going with the Reiki, clear it out. It's helping you release the resistance.
Yes.
Releasing the thoughts on repeat over and over and over, so that your subconscious mind is just like, it's going to work because it's in alignment with the conscious thoughts consistently.
Well, yeah. And Teresa, though, you're selling yourself a little bit short here, because you don't just, the sessions are not just Reiki. They are also channeled messages from whoever you need to hear from. So that's the thing I like about, like, Teresa's, she's totally downplaying how magical it is. Like, I don't think she's never experienced her own Reiki. I don't think, because I just like, because her sessions are intense. Like, not only does she go through and clear all the things, and she's also a very, very, very gifted channel and psychic and mystic, whatever the hell, goddess. I don't know what all the things are, but like, it's serious, because she'll tell, what I really appreciate about her readings is that she goes through and she explains to you what was where and what she picked up and what she found. And, you know, she can even see into like past lives too. And she's told me, like, I had some gory shit happen to me in a past life. And she was like, I don't even want to tell you this, but they're telling me I don't have a choice, so I am going to tell you. And I told my husband, he's like, don't tell me that. And I was like, well, I can't live with it just by myself. You could listen to it too. He's like, no, that's terrible. And I was like, but it makes sense though, right? It makes sense. So the thing I like about Teresa's, this was not supposed to be a pitch fest for each of us, but you have to see Teresa for a Reiki session, because she, like I said, she will channel the messages that you need to hear. Everything that comes up in her sessions, because I've had multiple sessions with her, and each time something, I mean, it all kind of strings together, because that's, you know, like my life's theme, just like everybody has a shit they're going to work through. But she tells me, like, okay, this guide came through, and this, you know, this angel was there, and this ancestor, and they showed me this part of your past life because you're ready to heal this thing. And I cleared this out, and and then they said that you need to be doing this. And then she'll do a card pull at the end, and the cards are like unreal too. And then yeah, she ends up kind of weaving coaching in there too. It's just like,
I've definitely, like,
unreal.
When I used to do it to now, like, you're getting coaching. It's all the whole Reiki, supernatural, everything that needs to be cleared out, whatever messages come through. But now the coaching is on a whole different level, because we can coach from a space of experience now. Right. Shit is actually happening. Like, it's clicked to me. Every time I heard, like, you just have to get on the frequency. You just have to control your thoughts. But oh my gosh, I'm telling you, just from this past week, even, everything fucking is making sense on a whole different level. Completely. Like, I'm screaming. I know we're going on these side things, but I think it's important.
That's what happens.
I got a call from one of my clients, but you know, if you're my client, you're like my family.
Yes.
My compassion for everybody, because I've been in darkness so many fucking times. I know how it is. I know when you're going through this journey, there's times where you're on this super high, and the next thing you know, you're in complete darkness. One fucking thought, you guys, this is why we keep stressing so much. You must be on a mental diet. You have to watch your
consistency
thoughts.
over everything. Have to.
Hold on, sorry. You have to, because one thought, if you hold on to that, it's going to spiral you. And then your nervous system is out of control. And then you're in this crying, like that, like, oh, like you can't stop. Your brain can't stop. Then you go into like, I'm fucking alone in this world. Nobody knows how I feel. It's all a fucking lie. It's a fucking lie. But when you're in that lower vibration, you allow yourself to spiral. You cannot see the light. You cannot see a fucking way out of it. So anyways, she messaged me asking if I was awake at like 11:30, and I'm like, yeah. And I love you, the person that I'm talking about. She's going to watch this. But because we're a collective consciousness, there's somebody else who's experiencing the same thing right now that needs this message. That's why I was like, you know, if things come up with any of the coaching clients, I think it's important for us to touch on a little bit of it, because we're all going through the same thing at the same time. So we've been working on her mindset, and everything comes for Reiki. She's on this high when she's leaving. Everything is fucking clear to her. But guess what? Then you go out there into the real world, and you're going to experience so many things thrown at you all fucking day. You know, one of the things that her struggle is like the mother-daughter relationship. And I love you. Okay. Everything that I'm saying here,
with love, always,
you know, with love.
Yeah.
Repeating the story over and over and over, because she's already spiraled into that space where the thought is so fucking obsessive in the mind. You can't stop it. But here's the shit, like, you have to. You don't have a fucking choice. And this is what I said last night. I said, your feelings are valid. 100 fucking million %. And let me tell you, chosen ones, light workers, we have all been in your shoes. It still happens to me now, but I have this hyper awareness now of what's happening, and I'm cutting the loop over and over and over and over. Okay. Somebody that's a little bit newer in this world is a little bit harder. You should have somebody, find a buddy in our group that we have. Find somebody that can be like, hey, snap the fuck out of it. Come on, stop the loop right now. Because if not, even though, yes, she had to vent to me so that I know what's happening, so that I know how to guide her.
Right.
But that's it. That's it. You fucking say it one time so that the person knows where to take you out of. But if you keep telling me it over and over and over, and we don't make up the fucking rules of the universe, you are speaking this shit into existence over and over and over. But this person, but they did this, but okay. Not only are you holding yourself trapped in this reality that you don't want to fucking live in by repeating this story, you're regurgitating it over and over and over. Now, what have we talked about before? You want this person to change, but you're not even allowing them. They can't. Because you're also holding them to this fucking identity. Right? Well, they did this to me, and they did. Yes, I get it. 100%. Your emotions, your feelings are so fucking validated, that like valid, honey. Like, I agree with you, but we cannot change the physical 3D reality. We can't. And the more times that you keep repeating this story, you're holding them trapped, you're holding yourself trapped. So what do we have to do? We say, you know what, 30 minutes, 1 hour. This is what I told her. Because we're spirit having a human experience. Emotions come along with this human body that we're trapped in, this fucking avatar.
Right.
They're gonna happen. It's ridiculous to say, you know what, you're always gonna be on this fucking high. You're never gonna feel like you're getting hit by anything. No, you are. But now you're getting the tools to take yourself out of it fast. Because the longer you fucking stay there, you're holding yourself trapped. You're regurgitating this reality over and over and over and over, and saying, what's the definition of insanity?
Yeah.
You're fucking
doing the same
thing
over and over and over.
and
Yeah.
you're expecting a different outcome. You're never going to get a different outcome. And sometimes I sound like an asshole. This is why I have to make sure that they know, like, I love you. Like, I genuinely give a fuck about you because I've been there. And every soul sister that I have, exactly what she was experiencing last night, we have all experienced this. I've experienced it with my own mother. Same shit. I wanted her to show up in a certain way, but I kept fucking complaining how she wasn't, and she's doing this, and she's doing all the things that I didn't like that she was doing is the only thing that I was focused on. So again, you know what? This has to do with the magic, because where are we at? It talks about magical relationships. It talks about the people that you love and you care about in your reality, to focus on the good things about them, because it switches it up. It starts deleting, because if we don't focus on one good thing, guys, take this in for a second.
Listen, guys, you're about to get it.
Aha moment. Okay. We take one fucking thing. You only need one thing that you love about this person or what they've done for you before, because it's proof to the subconscious mind that this person is good. They have done good for you. What is the job of the subconscious mind? To give you more of what you believe. So if you're focusing on that one good thing and how this person has showed up for you, the subconscious is going to scan. Okay, let me give you 100 more things to prove to you that this person shows up for you and this person fucking loves you. Your mom is amazing. Your mom is the best mom out there. It's going to shift. It's going to bring you proof that this person, whether it's your mother, your father, your spouse, whatever, is amazing by focusing on one thing. So we could sit here all fucking day and say how these people don't show up for us and they're a piece of shit and they hurt me when I was little. This happened. Yes. Is it fucking wrong what happened to you? Yes, 100%. But because the way the fucking universe works is, if you focus on that, it never leaves your reality, and it will keep giving you more proof of the shit you're focusing on. We have to validate our feelings and our emotions. Give yourself 30 minutes to a fucking hour. We're not doing this shit for days in a row anymore. We're not doing this for weeks, months, years of our fucking life, staying trapped in a reality that we're miserable in. I'm not.
Not me.
Sure the fuck not. And let me tell you, cutting the 3D lag time and everything, my life is so amazing right now. Oh my God. But I hope this sunk in for everybody watching and whoever watches in the future. If you continue to talk about the shit that you don't fucking want, it increases. It increases. Whatever we talk about, whatever we focus on, increases. You're and you cannot force anybody to validate anything that you feel. All you're doing is validating to the subconscious mind that they're a fucked up person, and it's going to give you more. And
that's just it. And the whole thing is like, when we don't take the time, because let me back up a second. A lot of the uneasiness that you feel when you are in a bad mood, mad at somebody, whatever, a lot of that is actually just you fighting you, because you're out of alignment with who you're supposed to be. So it creates resistance. And what you really want is just to not be mad and not be whatever. But the not wanting what is, that perpetuates it too and creates more resistance, right? So what Teresa is saying is, by taking a step back and giving yourself the grace. Okay, I'm going to give myself 30 minutes. I'm going to give myself an hour because I'm really fucking mad right now. And I'm going to journal it out, and I'm going to, meditate on it. I'm going to whatever. And then I'm over it, right? Because you say it one time, you move on. And then that allows you to give yourself, like she said, the grace, like honor how you feel, because
we're not keeping it in our body where we need Reiki for fucking ever, because you keep holding all these emotions in, and then it leads to sickness in your body. You end up with cancer because you held on to some shit that you wanted somebody else to fucking validate.
It's just like, do it yourself.
More than that, but that's the gist of it.
That's the gist of it. But it's funny that you're talking about collective consciousness, and then it goes into this conversation, because me and one of my clients it was not relationship based. Well, I mean, it was her and herself, but that's a relationship too. But it wasn't her and another person. It was her and herself. She's having, long story short, having trouble prioritizing her own business things, and because she's busy doing client work, and she wants to get these other systems in place so that her business can support her and her family in more ways, but she hasn't prioritized actually doing it, right? And we've had this conversation. We've had it many times. And I finally said to her, like, look, you know, and again, with love, she knows, you know, but at the same time, like, you can't continue, like you just said, to repeat and look at and confirm what's happening. Tell me that you want it to be different, but then continue to look at what is. It doesn't work that way. You like you say, and it's funny, the word you use, because I use almost the exact same thing. I said, yeah, you have to tell me the one time, you know, like, I do need to know the actual details of what's going on, because if you tell me, I'm going to call it the manifested version of the outcome, okay, that's good, but then I don't actually know what's actually going on. So this applies to, like, when you're working with a mentor or a coach. Like, if you're going to go as far as to invest in yourself, which you should, I think that's a great idea. You have to be at least open and honest about what's actually going on and what you're actually feeling and what you're actually, you know, experiencing. Because if I don't actually know, if Teresa and I don't know what the actual starting point is and what the actual destination is, it's hard for us to gauge where you're at and what roadmap you need from here, right? So there's that. But, you know, again, with love, like, we only should be talking about the problem the one time. And then after that, we should be talking about the solutions or things we've tried or things that, you know, we've implemented and fell apart. Like, at least that's a, you know, that's a move in the right direction, because you I mean, you don't know what you don't know, right? But you can't, like she said, again, this is like insanity. You can't continue to look at what is, tell me you don't like it, but like, there's always a solution. Everything is figure outable. Okay, everything. And a lot of it comes down to moving your priorities around, moving your boundaries around, right? Like, I had this, like, epiphany the other day. It is like this channeled moment from the heavens. And it was like, okay, manifesting your best life. I made this into a post. Manifesting your best life a lot of it is setting and enforcing your best boundaries with yourself, right? Because it's a boundary with yourself that is keeping you from staying consistent with the magic. Right? It is your boundaries with other people that are often the root cause of the dissatisfaction you have in the relationships. Maybe one thing happened one time, you didn't say anything because you're now at this point a recovering people pleaser, right? And you didn't say anything, you didn't enforce a boundary, and now they don't know that the boundary is there. But it is, and you continue to get upset because you don't say anything, you let them walk over the boundary instead, but then you hold a grudge, and it's like, that's not, you know, that's what I mean. Like, and like Teresa was saying too, it's not that these things do not happen to us. It's not like we've said before, it's not that negative things do not happen. But the difference when you are on this end of at this part, where there's never an end to the journey, but when you're at this part of it, at this juncture, it's much easier for us to look at what's happening and go, okay, what, like Teresa's saying, what breadcrumb is this? What am I supposed to learn from this? What haven't I integrated yet that I should have? This is a repeating pattern now. Okay, so obviously I didn't get the lesson the first time. What did I miss? What do I still need to do? Is this, you know, because a lot of people will say, oh, go ahead.
This is what I told her. I said, listen, you on this journey, we have to remember that we are spirit in human form.
Yes.
That earth is school for our soul. Every connection, every relationship, everybody in our family in the human form is there for a reason, literally. And I told her, you put your mom where she is right now for your benefit. Let's perspective shift right now.
Yeah.
You put her in this position.
I have chills.
She agreed to play this part. I know, so do I. I just went to my legs up. I said, you put her there. Yeah. There's a lesson that you are supposed to get that you're not seeing yet. And then I was like, oh my gosh, because I'm driving, trying to talk to her. I missed my freeway 2 times because I was so deep into this fucking conversation. I was like, oh my gosh, it makes sense right now.
Yeah.
Listen, Linda, if she did not fucking do this to you, if you were not experiencing this right now, I would not be telling you how fucking powerful you are. You wouldn't even come across this information. I wouldn't be telling you, hey, in exchange for letting this story go, you can have whatever the fuck you want, how you want it. Now, let's see her as somebody who's putting you in your power. You understand? Look at her as that right now. Instead of, she didn't show up for me. because she wasn't fucking supposed to.
Yeah.
She wasn't supposed to, because if you had a perfect relationship with her and everything else is perfect, you never search for the fucking answers in this life.
Mm-hmm.
You never come into your power because you're under somebody's fucking wing this whole time. There's people that are not supposed to come into their power. Mm-hmm. They'll be under other people's wing to the day that they die. But chosen
and they won't be hanging
women,
out here.
Exactly. Women who come into our space
yeah.
are meant to come into their power. They're
Yes.
meant to do big things in this world.
Mm-hmm.
You already see that in your program. How many of the women that have gone through your program are already out doing the same kind of work, but in their own unique way?
Oh, yeah. It's amazing.
That's what this is about. That's what I told her. Mm-hmm. And she was like, oh my gosh, I didn't see it that way. I said, yes, I'm telling you right now, if you stop these fucking thoughts, get back to the pen and paper, give her an identity and how you want her to show up, and you focus on that, and you ignore the other shit that she's showing you or been shown, and she'll appear in this fucking identity. Wait, let me tell you one more time. Let me tell you, these are laws of the fucking universe. 100% guaranteed that she'll fucking show up this way if you let the old story go. Now, do you still want to fucking hold on to it? And that's how I talk.
Yeah.
That's how I talk. Whoever comes to me, you'll be in alignment with me. Like,
whoever
comes to Danielle will be in alignment with her energy. That's how I needed to be talked to. Hey, stupid. I don't say that, but this is what I got. Hey, stupid, wake up. Wake up. You want to keep doing the same shit, you're going to get the same outcome over and over and over and over and over. And guys, give yourself grace. Yes, I'm rough when I speak, but because I get so excited, I have so much passion for this fucking work, because I'm just like, hey, here you go. Do you know the depths of hell that you're living in right now? I've been there 1 million times. And this is how the fuck I got out. This is what I did. This is how I got there. I'm not talking out of my ass. I'm speaking from experience. I've been there 1 million times. And now I know how the fuck to get out pretty damn fast. And things are actually manifesting in my life. So I know a few things.
You might want to hang around. Yeah, you might want to hang around. Seriously, though.
I want to. But by the time we were going to hang up, she was just like, thank you. And then she's like, I'm going to give myself grace. I said, absolutely. Absolutely. You fucking fall, you get the fuck back up. You fall again, get the fuck back up again. You miss a day of the magic, you go back 3. So fucking what? Do it again. Do it again. Do it again. It's the same thing. We talked about this before. As kids, we didn't give a shit, if we fell off our bike trying to ride it without training wheels. It was that determination. I'm going to fucking do this, period. My knees are bleeding. I'm still going to get back on it. And I did.
Well, what's funny is when you talk to kids, like, so my son is learning or when we were in Nicaragua, he's learning how to ride a skateboard. And my son, unfortunately, is a bit of a perfectionist. I don't know where he gets that. And he likes to be very good. He likes to be good at something right away. And if he's not good at something right away, he tends to get very frustrated. So we are working on like, no, like you have to be a beginner, and nobody, he's like, well, you're so good at this and that. I was like, yeah, but I've been doing it for 35 years. Like I didn't come out of the womb knowing how to do all this stuff. Right. Anyway, so he's learning how to ride a skateboard, and he was going at it with really good determination. And then he was working up to doing something. I don't know if it was going down a ramp or up a thing or whatever. Like it wasn't. And I said, and he did it. And I was like, man, like what kept you, like what made you do that? Like, because I want to hear him say, and he's like, well, I really wanted to do it. So I knew that I had to
literally
keep trying it until I could do it. And I was like, well, that's awesome. And now how do you feel? He's like, I feel awesome because now I can do it. And it's like, see, you have to let yourself be new at something. And this is no different. Like whether you're a 7 or 8 year old learning how to skateboard, or a 35, 45, 55-year-old woman learning how to get to know herself. And, when I started this work, I didn't even know how to identify what emotion I was feeling. Okay. Like, let alone shadow work and like identifying my thoughts and all of this. Okay. No. So it doesn't happen overnight. It's worth it. No, I didn't know anything.
When she said, get a pen and paper and write down what you want in this life. And I was like, huh? That's what I have to do that in order to get somewhere? What do you mean? Well, I have to know where I want to go to get somewhere.
How's that? But I don't know about you, but for me, I look back now, like she's referring to this program we talk about once in a while that we were in. That's how we met. Right. And that was my first coach, my first self-development, like anything like of any kind of serious like nature. Right. And we made vision boards. And the vision board I had,
I never did it.
no, okay, I definitely did it, but
completely honest.
I didn't do it. Okay, but so here's the thing though. The vision board that I made was like awesome, but she's like, imagine you can have, anything you want, which, okay, all of what she said is true. So I don't want you to think that I'm telling you that what she's saying is not true, but anyway, and you can have anything you want. And so I'm plastering my vision board with like all like marble kitchens and big house this and frickin' Mercedes that, diamonds this, blah, 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 like all this stuff, right? But it is possible that I could have manifested that from where I was. Like it is possible. But for me, with all of the resistance and the beliefs and all of this, like what I see now, this is my point. What I see now when I look at that vision board, and some of it did manifest, like I'm not, it did. But I see a vision from somebody who wants to be just opposite of where she is, that I wasn't even really thinking about like why I wanted any of those things or really having any kind of like a deep like longing for these things. It was more like, well, the opposite of what I have is a big, spacious, full house in my name. And the opposite of what I have is a, luxurious this. And the opposite of so I was really coming at it from like a wounded place of just like, get me out of where I am. You know what I mean? Whereas now, like the vision board I made just a few months ago before we moved back is very much like things within my immediate possibilities of like, so let me see if I can make a little more sense of this. I feel like where I am now versus where I was before. Now the visions that I create and the goals, I mean, I have big, long-term, big vision goals too. Yes. But the focus that I have is just becoming the next version that has the next level up of where I'm at now. Right. Because I'm not in this like scarcity, like get me out of this hole that I'm in. It's more like, how can I make where I am better now? Do you know what I mean? And that energy shift is totally different.
I'm having like an aha moment right now because you kept showing me your vision board when we were in that, group or whatever. And I used to fucking beat myself up. Like, what is wrong with you? Danielle's doing it. Why can't you do it?
Yeah.
And I still have all the stuff. I still have the boards. I still have the magazines.
I remember you said, send me pictures of yours. Okay. I don't know how to do it.
Yeah. But for some reason, I couldn't fucking do it no matter how hard I tried. But in my mind right now is because for me, and this is why we say, you guys, you have to find what fucking works for you. We could give suggestions all day of what worked for us. You go through and you start seeing, where do you have the least resistance? That's where the fuck you start. So every time I went to do it, every time I looked at the pictures, the magazine, instead of it making me feel good, because we didn't know to the extent of feeling into stuff as we do now, it was all the things I didn't have. That's what my brain was scanning. Then I would get pissed off and I wouldn't put it together.
Right.
It was so much resistance for me, but I didn't realize that back then. This is why also give yourselves grace. If for some reason you do have the resistance and you're not doing it, give yourself grace, take a step back, keep going. But in that process, see what is working for you and then pull from that even more. But I mean, it's still to this day, I don't have a vision board. It's just not, it hasn't worked for me.
Yeah.
But things are still moving in my life. You know what I'm saying? But like the scripting works for me.
Yeah.
Visualization in my mind works for me. Maybe now if I try to do a vision board, maybe it'll be a different experience. I don't know. But up to this point, I just had resistance. And trying to force built more resistance for me.
Yeah. And that's the wrong, you don't want to manifest in that kind of energy, because that's the exact opposite energy of what you need to create, which is receive and allow, instead of force. And yeah, so, do what you can, but the best place to start is being grateful for what's already working, what's already going well. And like we've said before, like I've said at least 2 different episodes now, we are already experiencing the life of our dreams, but only to the extent we're allowing it in.
It'll all be shown.
Yeah, I know. I'm so excited. I'm so excited.
It's like, oh my gosh.
We've got exciting things happening over here. It's pretty good.
Definitely. Do you want to check comments or anything.
Yeah, I've got lots of highs. Yeah, she says, day 12. Let's see if I can bring it up. Yeah, day 12, episode 12. Always divine timing. Always, always, always.
Always.
Yeah. We got a Teresa's Reiki is amazing. It is. You guys seriously need to reach out to her on Instagram because it's so good. Side tangents. We got a side tangent man. That's probably Kayla or America. Hitting the nail over the head over here. That was when you were talking about the client and her relationship with her mom and reliving old patterns and all of that stuff. So,
yep.
So yeah, oh, go ahead. What were you going to say?
I think that really helped her too. Like,
well, of course.
The fact, again, we're a collective consciousness. And I was like, I can name 5 women that I know that have been exactly where you are right now. And so have I. And look at where I am right now. Yeah. You just got to keep going. Persist, 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 no matter what. Persist with everything until it hardens into fact. Literally.
That's it.
When do I stop doing this? You don't.
I never.
Until it appears. Yeah. And then after it appears, you keep going until that's the new norm in your reality. Mm-hmm. Like, I can honestly say I've had a quantum leap, 100% guaranteed, because everybody is fucking different in my reality right now. Yeah. I even sit there like, and they're like, what's going on with you? You're acting so weird. I'm like, you wouldn't understand right now. I'll let you know later.
Yeah, don't worry about it. Stick around.
It's wild. It's wild.
Yeah. Yeah. So, I mean, and that's the power of the magic, right? Like, gratitude is the holy grail. I'm telling you. Like,
what do we say? You'll get to a point where you're just like, well, fucking well, you don't have no words. That's
well, and that's right what happens. You're like, I want to explain how awesome it is, but I can't because I can't.
There's no words.
No.
There's no words. Like,
no.
Literally.
I know. It's so good. It's so good. So I hope that everybody will continue reading the magic with us. If you've missed a day, just go back 3 days and do it. And you know what? Change your perspective about that too. It's not, oh, I've failed and now I've got to go back. It's awesome. I get to compound my gratitude. You know what I mean? There's an option that I have that I can instead of going all the way back to the beginning, I can go back just 3 days. I can compound my gratitude. I mean, really, are you really going to suffer from having too much gratitude in your life? Absolutely not. No. Is gratitude something you should continue to practice forever? Yes, it is. And even at the end of the book, you'll see when we get to day 28, or maybe it's the day after that, I don't know, like at the conclusion or whatever, she'll say, the author, she gives suggestions on how to continue using the magic after that. She's like, you can start again. You can pick one day that you really liked and continue to focus on that for a week. You can open the book randomly to a day and just, know that you're guided to that exercise that day. Something I did for a long time after doing the magic the first time was just, I continued to write a gratitude list every single day for, I don't even know, like it was well over a year. I did it like just continuously. It makes a huge, huge difference. And it just like, if you get, the only thing from this is you get the ability to find more things to be grateful for in your life. Like, you know how amazing that is? Do you know what ripple effect you can create with just that, with just showing gratitude and expressing gratitude and feeling gratitude and sending gratitude? Like, come on.
Mm-hmm.
So
you jump timelines. That's all I got to say.
That's all I got to say. So we'll see you back here next Tuesday for the next 7 days plus whatever else comes up, side tangents and all. We look forward to seeing you there. Thank you so much for hanging out. If you catch us on the replay, please feel free to leave any questions or comments you have below and we can circle back to them as well. We thank you so much for your time, of course, as always, and we will see you next Tuesday. Love you guys. Yes.